Alright, album review number 2. And this time we have Swish, a mixtape by Hoop Jones. Hoop Jones is an electronic artist from Minneapolis whose sound focuses heavily on glitch elements and plunderphonics, both of which seem to have equal influence on the music itself. And the song segments themselves, they kind of range from these sound collage experiments, where it's a song, but it's sort of built entirely on the samples it uses, but it also ranges into what feels almost like original songs, as the samples themselves are used either sparingly or in such a way that they're not noticeable entirely. Like, the first song flows smoothly and feels like there aren't any samples during the main section, but the second song, it feels like there are three different things going on, each one's kind of fighting for space. The lyrics of the song also kind of clash heavily based on the samples. There's a "Make It Stop Please" sample, butting with the "Having Your Time of Your Life" from the song Dancing Queen, and the "Running with the Devil" part of the chorus from the Van Halen song of the same name. And that's just kind of one of the examples of the kind of different personalities that are going on in this mixtape. But every song pretty much has a pretty dizzying catalog of sources flowing through it. And these samples are either very noticeable, like on the 6th track, which leaves me going, oh, that's 100 gecs, or oh, it's that one Weezer song. Other songs I can't easily do that with, because either there aren't many samples at all, or the samples have been so chopped heavily that they're not really recognizable anymore. I personally think the first of these examples works better on the mixtape, as they feel more carefully planned, but still, Hoop Jones is still doing some interesting things in every song. Now, there is clearly a theme running through the project, however, I don't really know what it is. I think the fact that there are so many different things going on kind of obscures the real meaning behind it. And ultimately, it's up to the listener to try to pull whatever they want out of it. So you'll just have to listen and find out. Unfortunately, I do have some negative thoughts about this mixtape. Some of the sample sections for the intros and outros aren't as interesting as the actual music itself. There are long sections at either the beginning or the end of the song where it's just a mashup of these various sources, but they don't flow nearly as well as the actual songs themselves, so it's kind of a jarring transition to be going from these well-planned moments to these periods where it's just one sample playing, and then the other one plays after it, and then there's another one, and so on. There are parts where this does actually work well, though. The intro to the 4th song, for example, puts a sample from a pacer test over a drum beat, and the way that the two line up works really well. The 8th track, University of Costco, is maybe the song where it works the best. The intro combines many different Twitch stream clips, all of which are pretty uncomfortable to listen to based on their context, as well as sound clips of reviews from the Melon Man himself, Anthony Fantano, as he pops in to critique the track before the song does exactly what he says. And another thing, although the songs are they're all pretty interesting, I do wish they were somewhat more concise. I feel like a lot of the ideas expressed here could be condensed down a little bit to make them more powerful, but instead, a lot of the ideas are stretched out a bit too long, with not a lot of real progression to carry the length. I think if Hoop Jones worked on the sound but implemented either a more compact way, or a way that brings a more structural variety, then something really good could come out of it. But as it stands, this mixtape still is pretty good on its own, so props for that. I think I would recommend this mixtape to anyone who has a taste for glitchy and sample-heavy electronic music, because it does all that pretty well. Or just anyone who thought that Eric Andre Blarf album would have been better if it was a more fleshed-out concept. And that'll just about do it for this time. Swish, a mixtape by Hoop Jones.